Why do people strive to be self-employed? Today, compared with working for a company, a lot of people choose to be self-employed. In my opinion, there are two reasons for this phenomenon, and we should notice the two disadvantages of this behavior. The first reason is that there are a lot of people who can earn much more by being self-employed compared with working in a company. This is because the boss always exploits their employer and grabs most of the profit. Thus, when a person becomes self-employed as a computer programmer or writer, he can earn more money than before because he can get the total reward for his work, and which is impossible if he works in a company. Moreover, another reason for the popularity of self-employed is that it is freer compared with being employed by a company. When you are self-employed, you can choose a suitable time to do your work, such as at midnight or in the early morning. However, we should note that, compared with becoming a worker in a company, being self-employed has two disadvantages. The first one is that our working efficiency will be impacted if we choose to be self-employed. In a company, several people can work together to achieve a huge goal, while this is impossible for self-employed people. Thus, most self-employers are confined in limited areas, such as writing computer projects or several passages. Besides that, loneliness in the process of being self-employed is also a critical issue. This means that if you meet a problem, you must overcome it completely by yourself and no one will help you. In conclusion, although self-employed makes us freer and leads us to earn more money, we must overcome several problems, such as loneliness and low efficiency, if we want to be self-employed in the future. I believe it is different for each person. Personally, I started my own social media marketing agency because after 9 months of sending out resumes, going to interviews for jobs that really had no interest to me, and receiving an overwhelming amount of offers from industries I had no experience in, I knew I had to make a decision quickly. Bills keep coming even though money does not. I thought a long time about what I really enjoyed. Once I made a decision, I made a plan, and before you know it, I found myself explaining that plan to others that were in the field I wanted to be in. I started a WordPress blog and connected with influencers through my writing and LinkedIn. It was not an easy process, and I often felt frustrated, alone, and wanted to give up and get back to sending out resumes into the resume wasteland. Then I got my first client, then that client referred me to their friend, and I finally started making money, and I knew then I made the correct decision. I will never go back to working for someone else. I want to put the work in, but I also want to reap the returns. If I fail, then I know I tried. There is no right answer. Each person has their own story and own path to follow. I work as a contractor, which here in the UK qualifies me as self-employed, though it is maybe not quite what you have in mind. I prefer contracting over a permanent job as it allows me freedom to control my own time. I can work ridiculous hours for a number of months, and then take the rest of the year off if I so choose, as the hourly rate is very much more than I would make as a permanent staff member. I have on more than one occasion just pointed my car south and gone on a long road trip through Europe. You can't just do such things if employed. On the downside, I get no sick pay, holiday pay or pension contributions, nor can I claim unemployment benefits when a contract ends. If there is an economic downturn, there is a real chance that I will not be working for a good while, so I need to be sensible about having a reserve financial safety net in place. Being self-employed and working for someone else both offer stresses. They are just different stresses. Being self-employed provides a level of self-reliance that you don't get anywhere else. Many of us enjoy the independence. It isn't easier, but oftentimes the most rewarding things aren't easy. Another element is with that independence comes the ability to make your own fate. If you work hard, and are good at what you do, you are likely to have more flexibility and money. There is not a company providing stability, and that has both an upside and a downside. Stability comes at a price. The company pays you consistently, but when you are thriving, you rarely see a huge uptick in earning. The last main reason I have seen, is many do it from necessity. They lose a job and struggle to find a new one. Getting frustrated, they begin to work for themselves. Some do well, some just fail again. But often, when a job is not easy to find, sometimes work is easier to find.